We are Gold Ivy.
Our mission is to empower you to own and unleash your truth.
Stories of resiliency are gold, and ivy grows in hard places.
Those hard places are what create space for light to shine through.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
We're coming at you with important information, warnings, and a solution. Sharing health and wellness gold with you is what we do. And so when we learned alarming information about devices that we routinely use, and we know you do too, we have to share it with you.
What most people don't realize is that the electronic devices we're using, cell phones, Wi-Fi, laptops, and Bluetooth, emit electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. The devices we're holding by our brains, on our skin, by our reproductive parts are emitting EMFs, and prolonged exposure to EMF radiation has been associated with potential health concerns, including neurological effects, impacts on reproductive health, and sleep disturbances.
Those studies alone are a cause for pause. But also, the International Agency for Research on Cancer that operates under the World Health Organization has classified non-ionizing EMFs produced by electronic products like cell phones, smart devices, and tablets a possible human carcinogen. Yikes.
And our solution? SafeSleeve. SafeSleeve anti-radiation products are designed to give you peace of mind of knowing you and your devices are protected while making your devices even easier to use. All of their anti-radiation products incorporate their lab-tested shielding technology that can block over 99% of RF and 92% of ELF radiation. And that's important because the vast majority of products that claim to block EMF radiation either don't have any testing at all, or they only block a small portion of the harmful frequencies.
We absolutely love the sleek look of these stylish products. They come in a variety of styles and colors. For our phone cases, I picked black, Andrea picked tan, and they include a built-in wallet with RFID protection and a magnetically detachable inner case. They're also anti-radiation products for tablets, iPad, and laptops.
We are pumped because we have been looking for a brand to help protect ourselves and our loved ones from this radiation for months. My kiddos have the iPad cases. Searching for a brand with stylish phone cases, colorful iPad colors, and functional headphones for our workouts, so that we can enjoy our devices, but also not have to worry about how they're harming us.
And without a doubt, it's time to protect ourselves. Grab your SafeSleeve phone case today and any of their other groundbreaking products at safesleevecases.com and use our code GOLDIVY for 15% off. Keeping the flu and common cold out of your household is important whether you're 5, 35, or 95, and we're going to tell you the easiest and most delicious way to do just that. It's with All Things Elderberry, a woman-owned business that has all-natural, vegan-friendly, and gluten-free elderberry products.
And when we say products, we mean a variety of delicious and beautiful products, not just for you, but for your entire household to get an immunity boost. If we had to pick our favorite product, I'm going with organic elderberry gummies. My kids are obsessed. We're trying to avoid sickness from school and make sure they can participate in their sports, so they take one every morning before they brush their teeth. They think the gummies taste like a mix of grape and cotton candy. I tried them too, and I can see why they ask for them every day. I love that they're boosting their immune system at the start of their day.
My favorite All Things Elderberry product is the elderberry green tea paired with the elderberry honey. The green tea gives me a midday boost, and the honey gives the tea extra sweetness. I also put the honey in my morning coffee instead of creamer. So good. All Things Elderberry is my solution for staying healthy before traveling, avoiding frequent colds and sinus infections, really just maintaining my health all year round.
What sets this brand apart from the others is there are no artificial additives in All Things Elderberry. Their elixir is made with organic, Missouri-grown elderberries, raw honey, and whole spices.
Elderberries not only help with immune support, but may also slow the aging process with their powerful antioxidants, improve skin health, and can shorten the duration of severity of colds and flu.
Visit allthingselderberry.com to explore their full range of immune-supporting products. Stay healthy and feel your best naturally. Use our code GOLDIVY at checkout for 15% off your first order. That's code GOLDIVY at checkout for 15% off your first order. And now to this episode of the Ivy Unleashed podcast.
Welcome back to the Ivy Unleashed podcast. Today, you are tuning in with hopefully a new view. It has been 5 years in the making, and your girls officially have a beautiful camera.
Yes!
You're looking at podcast hosts, also tech girlies, and we're trying to figure this tech thing out as we record a podcast. So welcome to the real, the raw.
Yeah, we've been recording with an iPhone, which that's a great camera.
Yeah.
And it was time for an upgrade.
It was time.
And so hopefully this works. But most people really listen to us, so it probably means nothing to you. But you probably follow on social media, and if you don't, it's Gold Ivy Health Co.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. So today's a little bit different of an episode. I feel like we've had just a variety pack this summer. And for me personally, summer is, for my mental health, is the hardest season because of the chaos. I've talked about this a lot. And something Brooke and I really wanted to share with you are our invisible struggles. Maybe things like we've maybe hinted at on the show or we've talked about in the past, but where we're at now, what we struggle with that people, looking from the outside, you see the highlight reel, you see the fun stuff, you see us working out. But these wheels up here always are turning.
A little too much, if I may say so myself.
We've hinted at like the inner critic. We've hinted at a lot of things that we struggle with and have had lots of therapists on. But today we're going to share some of the things that we struggle with that you might not know, that maybe we haven't talked about in a while. And it's going to be a very vulnerable, open episode. And so thank you for listening and trying not to judge us for the things that happen in our minds.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about because just like you, we are human and we can come on this podcast and share all the tips, and we listen to all different podcasts where they're sharing tips and it's all about what you can do. And, the comparison is so human. We see someone else doing well and we want to implement what they're doing, but it almost creates this disconnect, I think, from the host, from the people through the screen. And it's Andrea and I, our goal that you feel connected to us, that you can relate to us. And I think this humanness of sharing the struggle is what makes it relatable. Mm-hmm. We're not perfect. We're figuring this out. As I'm sitting here, my leg is feeling like I'm being zapped by an electric mosquito zapper. I'm going through some vein issues. As you guys know, if you followed, I had my vein closed in 2020 on my 2021 maybe, or 22. I don't know. It all blends together. Mm-hmm. On one leg, now I have to get the same procedure done on the other leg. Right, so
okay, but for like someone like me, I know a lot about anatomy and physiology, but like, isn't closing a vein like risky? What do they say about why and like how it's going to help you, hurt you? Like, what are the risks with it?
Great question. I don't know. I mean, I know that when I had my right leg done, so there's this vein, it's called your GSV. It runs from your ankle all the way to your groin. And when I was training for our first marathon, Andrew and I were going to do in Nashville, it ended up causing me a lot of issues. I couldn't walk on it. I was driving with my left foot. My right leg was like up on the passenger seat. Remember, I had to keep it elevated. Ian had gotten it was right when Ian and I started dating. He got in a boating accident and my leg was causing me issues. So he was pushing me in the ER with a boot on, and he was pushing me in a wheelchair, and we both had like his and hers foot issues. It was really cute. He should have ran for the hills. That's when he knew that this was going to be a journey of health together. But I had that procedure done because it was causing me so much pain, and that was just their answer to it. And fast forward, it worked out fine. Mm-hmm. And so I think because I've had luck. And at the time, they told me my left leg probably in the future needed it. And that had been, a few years ago by now. And yeah, I think with anything, there's risks. The doctor seems very confident. They go in with what's basically saline solution, and it just closes the vein. And then your blood flow just figures out a different way to get to your heart and to different areas. And the body is just kind of bananas. So you've got this Western doc that's saying, this is what we do, this is what he specializes in. And then you have the Eastern side of things that say you're way too young to have veins closed, which totally agree. There's a lot of different things you can do, supplements you can take to help strengthen your vascular health. But I'm also here, like, I work out for a living and I'm
in pain.
Yeah. So it's a weird, what the hell? Like, you are 29, you're having veins closed. It's scary, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and I think too, like, this is exactly why I want to talk about this, because it's like there are people walking next to you, sitting on the city bus, at your kid's soccer game with you, at work with you, that are struggling physically with pain. I was just at a baby shower, and my friend's dad was talking about his knee and how it all day long, every day is throbbing, and he needs a knee replacement. And so it's like, yes, these things even come with age, but you're 29.
right.
And with age too, it's like you're still a person trying to function, and you're in chronic pain. Like, I think it's just a way to give more people grace. Like, you really don't know what people are feeling, experiencing, why they might have no patience, why they seem off. Like, it's not you, it's them. And like really trying to have that compassion for people of, or asking the open-ended question, like, what's going on with you today? Like, how are you? Like, you look sad, or you look like you're stressed, like, is something going on? And just kind of letting people have the floor to say, you know, it might be chronic pain, it might be something else.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes, like, you just don't want to talk about it, right? Like, I think when someone asks you how you're doing, there's do you really want to know? Like, I don't want to get into it. It can become such a rabbit hole. And, you know, when you deal with chronic illness and this is your story, it's like you learn how powerful the mind is. And sometimes you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to just highlight what's going wrong, right? You don't want to pour more energy into it. I view the body as so interconnected, and just the research that I've done, parasites can eat at your veins. And so whenever I talk about that, I sound crazy, you know, like, how could you not? Or you bring that to, I brought this to the doctor, and I was like, you know, I have this crazy gut health journey and history, and terrible parasites and mold and bacteria. Does this have anything to do with it? No, just bad genetics. And like, in my core, I'm like, this is so connected. Like, how could it not be, right? Like, I'm weak. I've been going through this. And so that also plays a huge factor in this story of, like, how do we have these sides of medicine that are so polarizing? Like, you have a doctor who's going to close a vein and doesn't believe that everything could be interconnected. Yeah. And I was somewhere last week, and I overheard someone saying, what I learned in medical school was treat 'em and street 'em. And that was like a knife to my heart. It's been my experience. So it is tough when you have a different medical condition that could be easily fixed by a procedure, but that's not really your way of viewing things anymore. You know, I've gotten so away from Western medicine that I do fear someday, like, giving birth and prescriptions. I'm like, it's so tricky when it comes to mental health. And I know a lot of people listening who have struggled with their health, like, they can relate to that of like, what is the long-term effect of this going to be? And do I just blindly trust?
Well, and also I think of myself too, like, I have kind of authority issues of, like, people telling me what to do. Cause it's that struggle and that balance of, like, trusting an authority figure that has had more education than you in this thing. So you're like, okay, well, you probably know more what you're talking about, but if something feels off in you, it's not something you want to ignore. You know, you don't want to ignore yourself or your gut. And then down the road, be like, I should have listened to that, you know? Right. So that is such a tricky thing to balance. And I think a lot of women can relate to when it comes to your hormones, like going to your doctor and kind of talking about, like, oh, I'm having this. And they're like, oh, that's normal. That's aging. And you're like, oh, but my other friend, she has this, like, patch that's really helping her. And it's like, she has way more energy now and she feels better and not as moody. Like, what is that? And then some doctors are like, sure, we can try it. And some are like, eh.
Yeah. I just talked to a coaching client yesterday who, she has 4 kids, super tired. And every doctor is like, you're a mom of 4. And she's like, no, I know what being a parent tired is. Like, I'm bone tired. Like, this is not normal. And through her insurance, through her company, she was able to meet with a doctor and this is the crazy part, the doctor couldn't prescribe, but could tell her based on her medical opinion what she thinks she should do. And she thinks that if she took metformin, it would be really helpful. So she went through all of, her recommendations with her, went back to her primary care doctor and her OB, and they were like, nope, this is not, no. So she has a different medical opinion of someone who can't write a prescription, but then her actual doctor who won't write the prescription. It's like, who do you trust in this field?
Yeah. And then getting multiple opinions in case, like, okay, what would this person say? This person say? And then it's like, you're almost even more confused, but it's a good idea to get different opinions.
And then how do you have the time or the money to get all these different opinions? Because these different opinions are probably expensive and time consuming. And then while you're waiting for these appointments, you just have to kind of figure it out on your own. So I'm just listening to worship music in the morning. Ian came home from the gym. He's like, are you listening to worship music? Yep, I need Jesus. We're going to church, baby. We are going to church. Only the Lord can save me here.
It's so true, though. Like sometimes it takes a strength beyond you. When you feel like, I'm alone in this journey. I feel isolated. I feel like I have no hope. I feel like there's always hope. There's always more strength to tap into. It's always available. That's my belief. I use it all the time. It is like, you never have to only rely on yourself. Yeah. And a social support network is important, crucial. But also like knowing at any point someone's not available to chat with, like you always have someone. You can always close those eyes, say a little prayer. Like you'll feel that there's something beyond you that is carrying you.
Yeah. It's like this weird, I was just talking to Andrea before we recorded. When you feel so low, it makes the highs feel so high. And, right now, this season of life, planning a wedding and writing out like bridesmaids cards or even your card asked to be my maid of honor. Like so emotional, so exciting, happy tears, like just bliss of like, oh my God, this is my life. And then you have these other moments of like, what is going on with my health and finances and like, holy buckets, it's like the light on both is so strong, but I don't want to numb because I don't want to miss the highs, right? There's that like, it would be easy to take a pill and be numb. But like you're missing out on so much good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's also what's so tricky, but that is some people, the pill saves their life and they do experience joy on it. Everybody has a different experience. And sometimes if you don't give the pill the opportunity to see how you would feel on it, like a lot of times it could be the best thing that's ever happened to you is to take this pill. Yeah. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, nope, didn't like that, didn't agree with me at all. It took me 6 weeks to even figure that out. Too much time. It's again, one of those invisible things a lot of people are going through. They're trying a medication. It's going well. It's not. Their body's trying to regulate. Like another reason to give people grace.
Right.
And let people know when you are trying a medication that you love and you trust. Like, I'm trying this. Check in on me. If I seem off, just know it's not you, it's me. I'm giving something a chance that, again, I don't want to take something outside of myself, but a lot of times we just need a little help. And it could be a depression medication or anxiety medication. It could be a supplement. It could be, a new way of eating that's supporting your mental health too. So you're taking some sugar out or whatever to help you with those crashes, and it can be really irritable doing that too. Yeah. And so
I just think the human body is freaking bananas. Like, especially being a woman, I think it's great to hear these podcasts about these routines and tips and things that are working, but also like, can we just take a minute to be like, holy hell, like what we have to go through? And I haven't even entered like childbirth or parenting yet. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm viewing this as I'm gearing up. I'm getting ready and getting rid of all of this junk before entering that phase. Like this is the cleansing phase, but like all the mamas out there, I don't know how you guys do it. And I don't know. I think being a human, we need to be nicer to each other because it is not easy.
It's a wild ride. Let's talk about something foundational to your family's health that you might not even realize is an issue. Your cookware and bakeware.
That's right. We've all heard about clean eating, but what about clean cooking? For years, we've been told nonstick is the way to go for easy cleanup, But what if that convenience comes at a cost to your health?
Exactly. Our friends at Caraway have an origin story that really hit home for us. Their founder, Jordan Nathan, experienced what's called Teflon flu after accidentally overheating a traditional nonstick pan. It turns out it only takes 2.5 minutes for those pans to hit 500 degrees Fahrenheit and start releasing toxic chemicals.
And the problem is these aren't just any chemicals. We're talking about PTFE, also known as Teflon, and microplastics that can leach directly into your food that you're preparing for your family.
These are forever chemicals, folks. They enter the body and can take decades to leave, potentially leading to serious health risks like cancer or respiratory issues. Reading the research from the American Cancer Society and Good Housekeeping Institute was a wake-up call to realize what might be hiding in our kitchens.
And that's where Caraway comes in. They're on a mission to craft well-designed home goods that truly raise the standards of what you cook with. They've meticulously thought through every single detail, from the unboxing experience to how their products store in your home. The look, the feel. We're in a season where less is more. It's better for your health. It's better to look at. You've seen Caraway everywhere, and it's for a reason.
I went with the squareware and cookware set. Not only is it beautiful, but the relief I feel knowing the daily pancakes, pasta, and protein I'm heating up isn't causing harm to my kiddos is priceless.
Caraway has revolutionized kitchenware by offering a non-stick ceramic coating that's mineral-based. That means no toxic materials leaching into your healthy ingredients. It's easy to use, easy to clean, and you don't have to worry about those forever chemicals.
So if you're ready to remove harmful microplastics and toxic chemicals from your family's meals and truly elevate your cooking experience, it's time to switch to Caraway.
Head over to their website today. You can find the link in our show notes. And for a special thank you to our listeners, use code GOLDIVY at checkout for 10% off your Caraway products. Make the switch for a healthier you and a healthier home.
Who wants to know what I discovered that's an absolute game changer with my hormones, stress level, and quality of my sleep? I am not one to talk about supplements, but after learning all about magnesium, I have to fill you in. In May of last year, I tested my hormones and my doctor explained to me that most women are deficient in magnesium, how important magnesium is, and how the brand of magnesium matters. First, magnesium is involved in hundreds of biochemical reactions in your body. Cortisol regulation, take magnesium. Better sleep, magnesium. Muscle soreness and recovery, magnesium. Combat depression and anxiety, magnesium. The list of magnesium's benefits go well beyond those examples. I asked for the best brand of magnesium and my doctor said hands down, Smidge. She prefers Smidge because it's super clean and made in small batches. No fillers or common allergens and non-GMO. Smidge's magnesium is made with a premium form of magnesium called glycinate complex. After taking the 100 milligram capsule of Smidge Evening Magnesium every night for just a week, I noticed how much better I felt in the morning. Melatonin and other sleep aids can make me groggy or give me weird dreams. Smidge's magnesium has improved my energy levels, reduced my anxiety, and my digestive health has never been better. I do my best to take it every single night to keep reaping all the benefits. I'm telling you, Smidge Magnesium is a game changer. The majority of adult women are deficient in magnesium, and we don't want you to be one of them. To experience the health benefits of Smidge Evening Magnesium as soon as possible, go to getsmidge.com or find the link in the show notes and be sure to use code GOLDIVY10 for a 10% discount. That's getsmidge.com and code GOLDIVY10 at checkout and let us know how great Smidge Magnesium makes you feel as well. It is a wild ride. And I like talking about struggles because this is where the beauty is. If we don't go through these things, we don't have the higher highs or we don't appreciate, and so this is where the grit comes from and the resiliency comes from. And something that I have always struggled with, and I'm really tapping into this more, especially since doing our values or our strengths assessment, is my need for significance. And I just realized how much that plays into how I show up in everything. It's I'm doing this podcast to help people. That's the number one thing. But it's I want it to be significant. I want it to be number one. I want it to be these things. And I always have to check myself of our mission, our vision of why we're doing this, who we're talking to and why, because sometimes you can get wrapped up in numbers, wanting to win, wanting to be number one, wanting this significance. And it's that's really not that important. This week, someone reaching out and saying, I actually went to rehab because I listened to this episode and I have a place to go in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm so happy. Thank you for Ivy Unleashed. Like, that's what's important, right? But there is something, and I definitely know this is from my childhood story of feeling like, okay, I've got these two older brothers and I want to shine.
Mm-hmm.
I want the spotlight. I want attention. And so it's, you can blame things on your parents, but it's also the story you make up yourself. As a kid, that was to me my way to get my parents' love. And what sucks about that need for significance is it's all outward validation. It's not that internal motivation, right? I'm like looking everywhere to get some like, oh, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job, or you got first place, or here's a trophy, or you're on this team, or whatever. And so I see that play out in friendships when I enter a room. I need someone to say something that gives me like, oh, you are doing a good
validation.
Job. Yes. And so I'm really trying to tap into that and notice when I'm telling a story to get that, or when I'm entering a certain room for that, and really trying to get to like what will actually bring fulfillment and make me proud of who I am, not what I do. Because it's an old story and it serves you in ways, right, to like do things and get a proper education, get into the right school, or, whatever. But at this point in my life, it's just, I see how it's going to fall flat. I actually looked up research about this too. And it says research shows that I might be choosing what I do in life based on what will bring me acceptance and praise. Ooh. So something that helps is really finding joy in the journey of the pursuit of what I'm doing, which I do think I'm pretty good at, of finding, like, I love finding the little, like, I'm like such a gratitude person, but it's like, I could just focus on the medal of the marathon, but I love the training. I love getting into that, or like building a business. Like, I'm like all about finding like the gratitude in landing a guest or celebrating a review, or, those types of things, because that is really what it's about.
Yeah. I think it's, human to like need that validation, but where the progress comes in is you being able to check yourself of like, am I doing this because this is actually fulfilling, or I'm saying yes out of obligation, or hopefully someone else sees me and recognizes me. Because I think that is, at least for me, I feel like right now I'm very introspective where I don't have all of the energy. So it's like, okay, what is actually, what feels deeply meaningful, and what kind of boundaries do I have to set? Because my childhood, same thing with my dad. I wanted his validation, and now I'm in this spot in life where I'm like, okay, what actually feels true and right for me, and how do I use my voice to stick up for myself? I saw this video yesterday. We always send his videos back and forth. It's like DJ motivation. This ball guy, he just straight fire. But he was talking about how everyone wants more income. Everyone wants more income and success. But what is income? It's actually your outcome. And so how do you get that? It's what you pour into you. Anything that starts with self-worth, self-validation, all of this produces that outcome that you're looking for, but it starts from within. And I'm like, ooh, that's good.
And they will always match. So if you feel like your self-esteem sucks, you're not going to attract the partner. You're not going to get the income. You're not going to, have the outcome that you're looking for. So that's that was a really good one. I think you sent it to me, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah.
Probably on Instagram. Yeah. It's just it's those reminders that we constantly need. Like, even when I feel like I'm really struggling, whether it's with anxiety or my health, it's like that pause of, okay, what do I need to redirect here? Is it what I'm consuming? Am I helpful? Like, whether it's motivational content or just funny videos. Like, I think I forget how important it is to just laugh and to like watch stupid videos. Like, that brings me so much joy when we're on trips and I'm like legs up the wall and I'm just scrolling, just laughing, like dying of laughter.
We almost peed our pants. Where were we? We were in Dallas.
Yeah, like that's the shit that fills me up.
Funny.
And I need to remind myself that it doesn't matter all how it looks on the outside. Like, it matters how it feels on the inside. And I think I'm getting to the point where I care less. And that's really
amazing, because you're in your 20s. I feel like that comes in like your 30s.
People
and 40s.
are like, yeah, when you're in your 40s, you just don't give enough. And I'm like, I kind of want that now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think having issues with your health where, like you said, you don't have a lot of energy, like you don't have a lot to spread to like stuff that doesn't matter. Like something I do, like a tangible example of like what I do. I will be talking to someone. Yesterday, I'm talking with this other parent at a soccer game who's introducing himself. The other team, they're from Maryland. So me needing my significance right off the bat, tell him that, oh, I'm running a marathon in all 50 states. You know, I want that like, oh, you are? You know, it's like, that does not add value to the conversation. If you're getting to a deeper level, it's asking him something about, oh, what do you like about Maryland? Or where in Maryland? Oh, I have a connection in Maryland. Like, have you ever done this? Or, you know, and so in real time, that is how I have to stop myself and be like, don't make this about needing significance. Like, you're never going to see this guy again. He lives in Maryland. Like, ask him something about himself, you know?
Yeah. But it's such a human need to need that significance. Like, I don't think it's just a you thing. Like a lot of people like to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And they like to feel important or worthy of having this conversation of like, why should you take the time to talk about me? Like, look at how cool I am.
Yeah.
It's like a mind F when you really think about it of like, what is all this for? And I had this thought as I was back home celebrating this past weekend, my brother's fiance, they're getting married and they're having a baby. And I'm like, just the simplicity of a shower and like not needing to grind and work and produce and just like being and enjoying what's coming up is so special. I'm like, I need more moments like this where it's not about producing. It's not about hitting a number. It's about being. And we worked with Catherine, our coach, on this so much of when you're in those states, like that's when the success comes. Like you're texting me saying, hey, we just hit this number. Hey, just put this check in our bank account as I'm like high on just rubbing the belly, you know, like it's like when you drop the need for all of these external things, that's when the external things come. I think it's like, I don't know.
And remember how you used to hate when people said that? You used to hate it. You're like, oh, easy for you to say. Now you're in it. Now you see proof that it can happen.
I do. And I also struggle with that because I'm also working so hard. And now I have these things that like I'm paying off crazy debt because I'm also now back to working full time on top of Gold Ivy, you know? So it's kind of hard for me. Like, yes, I'm trusting, but I'm also putting in the work for these results. So I think
but so is everybody else. So like when you say that, it's like people are working full time and have 4 kids. You know what I mean?
I know, but I'm saying like just sit back and enjoy.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, that's hard. That's what I'm saying. It's relatable to anybody. You don't have to be an entrepreneur doing 2 jobs. Like people that are parents it's like having 17 jobs. So it's like every person, it's like telling a mom, enjoy your kids. It goes so fast. People say that and it's like, okay, I'm trying, but like I'm also managing their schedules and making them food and worrying about money. And, you know, it's like, it's the same thing where it's like everybody's working hard. There's hardly anybody lazy that I know.
Right.
And to tell someone to enjoy is hard, but it's like what you're saying is you are living it. Like you've heard that and now you're doing it and you're experiencing it. So it's like, give it a shot of allowing sometimes to just rest, sometimes to just be and see and like observe the fruits of that, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Because it's not always easy, right? When you're in fight or flight and you're in survival mode and people are telling you to relax and enjoy your kids, you're like,
right.
Okay.
That's why it's like those videos that we see and that I send you, like, yes, I believe in them and I feel them and I get it, but I'm also like, okay, but there's like another side to it. You know, there's different entrepreneurs that I follow who they have worked their ass off and now sold businesses and now are online saying, take care of your nervous system. It's like, well, right, you just sold your business for $1 billion and you have free time in your day. You know, so it's like, as we're sharing here today, I just want to share that I recognize there's this, yes, easy for you to say, but I also see the value in it. And so I'm trying to find a way to hold space and what that looks like for me.
And why this podcast is so beautiful is because you're doing it in real time and you're sharing the polar sides of it. And it's just like you started out, you're saying like, I have these low lows and I have these high highs. And it's like, that is that's exhausting to try and be present in both of those, because it's fleeting, the good, stuff. Cause then it's like, you got to get in your car and then drive 6 hours and whatever. So it's a practice, I think, trying to like create awareness around when you're not being present or when, God, my body is really screaming for me to sit.
Right.
Or like reflect on what it means to be a mom and the type of mom you want to show up, like taking some time for yourself, getting away, or having a little bit of time in the morning or at the end of the night to like, am I showing up the way I want? Is this, I'm in it. I'm building the business. I'm building my family. I'm getting married. I have my dream job, or I'm working towards it. Like in the midst of that, are you checking in with yourself? Because this monkey mind can just ruin the journey. It can really ruin the journey. And I think these check-ins are really important to think about. And that's why I'm so happy we're talking about this.
Yeah. I mean, it forces you to be honest, right? Like when you're in a spot that you don't want to be at and you recognize you need help or that you don't want to stay stuck, I think the only way out is through, like you've heard before. But how do you get through is you're really honest, like, hey, this sucks. I don't like it. Or I can't care about what people think anymore because it's taking way too much energy, and I'm going to do what I need, and I'm going to say what I need, and I'm not going to feel guilty or have shame about it, and just let that be the truth.
And that truth is the gift in all of it, right? Like, what a gift. And for your peers that are in their 20s, because like my peers are just tapping into this 10 years older than you. So like to have that gift 10 years earlier than most people, because usually it's like, you start to get late, you have your kids and then you care so much when they're little because you don't know what you're doing. And then once you kind of get in your groove, then you start caring less. Like the fact that you have this now is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do care. I care a lot, but I'm in the journey of trying to care less.
Yeah.
And like not having to explain yourself. I think that's huge. Like, I just don't want to, and that's okay. Or instead of saying, hey, let's drive this far, like, I can't make it, I'm sorry. Yeah. And not needing a reason for like needing a free weekend. Just because you have the space, the capacity doesn't mean you should.
Oh man, that's another one of my struggles is like questioning everything I do as a mom is such a big one for me of like, it's like you want to do it right. You want to do it better than your parents did, right? My parents did it better than their parents did. So I want to do it better than my parents did. We just actually talked about this when they were here recently. And what happens when you fixate on that is you overanalyze every interaction with your kids. For me, it's like, was I patient enough? Was I kind enough? Like everything, I just beat myself up about it. And it's like, these interactions are showing them what a human looks like and that there's a range of, your capacity in any moment. But I overanalyze everything because I'm like, oh, is this going to be their childhood trauma? Oh, is this going to be it? Because I've done so much work on mine that I'm like, what am I going to create in them? That it's so toxic in my mind and I know it. But it's like, I just don't want to recreate patterns. So then it's like, I'm probably creating some new different ones by like overanalyzing everything I do and having to like dissect, what I could have done differently. When I go to bed at night, I'm constantly thinking about that too.
Something that's been helpful for me is I'm doing the best I can. Like anytime the inner critic comes in, I'm like, I'm literally doing the best I can. Like, bitch, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. You are doing good in the world. You care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be questioning your every move. Like you are doing better than a lot of people out there because you're taking care of your health. You're helping take care of other people. And like, how do you be content but not be satisfied? That's something Ian and I always talk about is like, we are growers. We want to keep evolving, but we're learning to be content with what we have, but not satisfied.
I think it like grateful and striving,
Yeah.
because I just feel like gratitude is so important because then you can see more of the good, which helps your mental health. Like you land a deal, your kid starts school or like whatever, like where can I find gratitude in this? It's it's like contagious. You'll find it in other things, you know, it'll like shine a light on other things that are going well. I like that though. I like that content, but not satisfied.
Super are always like, you're never happy with what you have. Like, you're never satisfied. And it's like, why does that have to be a bad thing? Like, I am a maximizer. I want more. That's just how I've always been. That's who I'll always be. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I am also learning to be really grateful for what I have and the lessons I'm learning. And I think it's okay to have both. I think it's okay to hold space for both.
I think it's like seeing how it affects your mental health. Because that's scarcity, right? That's like, it's never enough. I need more, you know? But if it's not affecting your mental health in a way of like, oh no, I definitely have enough, but I want more in this way for this reason, I feel like that's different. Because if it's constantly feeling like, oh, but I wanted this. Oh, but I wanted this. It's like my children. It's like,
yeah, I don't know if it's like necessarily more, but better. Like, I could always have a little more peace. I could always be making a little more of an impact. Like, doing it in a way that feels like I'm not over giving.
Yes.
And that it's keeping me growing. You know, I always think about like the Tony Robbins quote, if you're not growing, you're dying. So there is something to be said about growing and evolving. And it's not necessarily wanting more. It may be wanting more for yourself. In that way, more internal things versus material things.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it too, because that's ultimately what's going to impact your mental health positively. It's knowing the why you want that thing. Like, it's okay to want more money. What do you want it for? And why is it so important to you? What's the value of that money? What is it going to bring you? Because when you attach that, it's like, you know, that's when you'll attract it even more, is knowing like, I'm not being like selfish for wanting more money. I want it because I want to make a memory with my family, and I really want to be able to pay for my daughter's dance lessons, or, you know, whatever it might be. And so I think we can feel selfish when we want more and the striving and the whatever, but it's not. It's like human nature is to want to do better, think bigger. You know, I think that's at least how I feel. And I know that you're similar in that, like, it's okay to not be satisfied, because we do have dreams and desires that want an answer. And so I think attaching your why and really understanding yourself is the key to that.
Yeah. And again, I don't think I have to explain why I want the things I want in life. Like, I think I'm getting more clear on that of, it just like, I want babies and I want a house, and like, that's okay. You know, like, who cares?
And it's beautiful that life. You know what you want. Like, whoever you're answering to that is making you feel like you need to answer needs some boundaries, it sounds like. Or, you know, sometimes it's a made up audience in our mind of like what we think we're answering to. Like, screw it. We don't, like you said, we don't have to tell anybody why we want what we want. Unless they're your like business partner or like your,
listen, girl, I need you to buckle down because we need these things.
Or your partner, or, you know, like the people that are in it with you. It's even more important to tell them why you want what you want, or why you're unsatisfied with something. Like, feeling understood and feeling seen is so much like my issue with significance and motherhood and these things, that it's like, you just, if you understand yourself better, you can express that to the people that you love, that you're partnering up with in life. And then you can be in it together with someone. You're not so alone. You don't have to like want that thing and feel like it's never going to happen. But if you tell someone that loves you, they can help you make it happen too.
Honesty. And I hope that's what you take away from listening to this, is being honest with how you feel when the highs are really good, the lows are really not so good. Being aware that this is part of being a human and nothing lasts forever, the good or the bad. I think that helps me be present in the moment of like, this too shall pass. Good is coming. Good is coming. I'm doing the best I can. And reaching out when you need that support, because you're not alone.
No. And yeah, I'm so glad that we're in this space where we can be honest and authentic with you. And as you're listening and hearing these things, like, it's not always easy to share what's on your heart or what you're struggling with or how wild your mind goes and second guesses everything. Like, it's not fun to have all of these things where you're questioning yourself and critiquing yourself, but we all do it. And that's why we're talking about it. So take good care of yourself, address your struggles, take some time for yourself to see who can help you with them, how you can be more honest with yourself, and know, like Brooke said, you're never alone. All right, and for your piece of gold today is from Steve Maraboli. He says, we all make mistakes, have struggles, and even regret things in our past. But you are not your mistakes. You are not your struggles. You are here and now with the power to shape your day and your future. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold. We want to thank you and encourage you to celebrate yourself for taking the time to learn and get inspired in your one beautiful life. And if this podcast means something to you, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to help support our mission to keep bringing you inspiring stories and guests.
First, following the podcast is important because it helps you never miss an episode. To do this, just go to the Ivy Unleashed podcast show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
While you're there, if you'd be so kind to give us a 5-star rating and review and share your favorite episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful for your support.
We are thrilled you're here and are so happy that you're taking time to prioritize your wellness, self-discovery, and growth with us. Additionally, we want to remind you that this podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We are not licensed therapists, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals.